obviously the way that the draft shakes out will be affected by the way that free agency shakes out. Which teams do you think are going to take themselves off the draft board for at that position based on what's going to happen when the new league year hits in March, DJ?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of these teams double up, try and double up with the free agent, and then also go ahead and just pick a guy so you don't have to rush him onto the field. I would say the one exception being whoever gets Kirk Cousins. I think that number, and with his age, I think you're committing to him. I've been going with Minnesota as the best fit for him. I think that your Jets are the other team that's mentioned, but I think Minnesota's probably where he ends up. But I think a team like if Cleveland signs A.J. McCarron, does that take them out of taking a quarterback at 1 or 4? I don't think so. If Denver ends up getting Case Keenum, does that keep them from maybe taking a guy like Josh Allen who could sit for a couple years behind a guy like Keenum? I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of guys doubling up, a lot of these teams doubling up.
Interesting. And what did you think of the Blake Bortles signing?
Look, it makes sense from the standpoint of what options are out there. I know that we haven't reached the quote-unquote legal tampering period, but I would think they'd have to have an idea of what the market for Cousins was going to be. That was the one guy that was out there that I would say that was the obvious upgrade for them. But if that number's too high and out of reach and you're already committed to Blake a little bit for this year, I think when you look at the options available to you, this made sense. And I think really about restructuring the number to make it more likely they could keep Allen Robinson. That's what makes a lot of sense there.
Okay, so the poll question is read it to Daniel. Chris Brockman, go for it.
Yeah, DJ, what do you think of the Blake Bortles contract extension? Great, meh, LOL.
I'd probably go meh. Maybe with not as much sass as you pronounced it.
Well, I mean, so let me pound the table in the manner in which I did in hour number 1, which you may have missed because I know you've got sick kids at home and you're getting ready to go to the combine, Daniel. So let me pound the table here. For Blake Bortles, okay, there was one batted down pass away from him making the Super Bowl. That he's a maker of stars, Daniel. He's a maker of stars. Look at the cast that he damn near almost took to the Super Bowl.
Are you saying Blake Bortles is the greatest showman?
He's the Hugh Jackman of NFL quarterbacking. Yes, I'm saying that. Also, he's a tarp remover. It's working. It's working. They're taking the tarp off there. I mean, why would you go away if you can just keep on keeping on with him and see if he is the right guy? You can't sit here and say, and I say this to a talent evaluator, you can't sit here and say he over the next 2 years can't become one of the tops in the league, right?
I don't think he'll be one of the tops in the league, but I think he's in a situation that's probably more desirable than any other situation in the league. When you look at some different factors here. Let's look at the offensive line and running game they have in place, which they've done a really good job of building up. That's a good spot to be in. You look at the most talented defense in the NFL. I don't think anybody would argue with that. And you look at a division that's arguably the worst division in the league. So you've got a lot of factors set up for whoever steps in at quarterback to be successful. Now, to his credit, after some ups and downs, I thought he played his best football when it mattered at the end of the season. But in terms of, whether I'm going to make any long-term predictions based off of those few games, I don't know that I'm ready to do that just yet.
Okay, which is why I love the contract. I mean, they're able to.
Yeah, it's a win. Yeah, they're not on the hook for too much. It makes sense for both sides, I think.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.